Hello, Morning Rush regulars. You want to get a countdown from Kelly Nash. How many more days till Gamecock football kickoff?
13.
I knew it, and he would know it off the top of his head. I could have asked him how many minutes, and he would have already counted it down for me. Hey, by the way, we didn't get a chance to talk about the big Dabo Swinney. Should Kelly Bryant get a championship ring? Everybody wanted to chime in on that conversation.
I kind of felt like he should have. I mean, they wouldn't have been in the national championship game had they not beat Texas A&M, and they wouldn't have beaten Texas A&M if they didn't have Kelly Bryant.
I agree with that, but he did leave the team on his own accord.
Yeah, you're all about quitting.
Yeah,
Quitter.
Yeah, you and Spurrier ought to hang out somewhere and whine about not getting rings or something, for Pete's sake. Quitters in South Carolina, ain't having it. That's what I'm saying. Right. But Dabo could have very easily just avoided the whole thing if he had a little tact, a little political tact about it. He could have said, we started to send him one, but we thought, he wouldn't want it. Remember, because he left the team. All conversation stops after that. But it's badminton time on the social medias.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about tomorrow's show today on the Morning Rush. We're not going to talk about that.
Well, we're going to have a contest tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Got to do that first thing, 6:30.
Love and Theft's coming back. It's the grand reopening of the Skyline Club. Tumbleweed's doing a video today. I know Kelly never went to the Skyline Club. Did you? Why are you doing that dance? Your line?
Yeah, this is my boot scooting boogie.
Okay, so the answer is yes. Tumbleweed's been there. Anyway, the grand reopening, Love and Theft's going to be there the Saturday night of the grand reopening. It's going to be the first weekend of September. The 6th is going to be one of our favorite country bands from the upstate. Outshine's going to be here. And then on the 7th, it's Love and Theft. We got tickets for Love and Theft on Saturday night, tomorrow morning at 6:30. And you already thought about what kind of contest we should do for that?
No.
Okay, we'll make that up tomorrow morning while we're having our first cup of coffee. And Kelly's drinking his first gallon of water.
So let's move on then to, there's a list here, Tumbleweed, of the celebrities who have fake Instagram followers.
Oh.
And the number one fake celebrity Instagram followers is Ellen DeGeneres.
Man, she's got like 330 million followers, doesn't she?
75 million.
Okay.
And 58% of them are fake.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
So-
she's only got 30 million followers?
Yeah, we say only 30 million. Now, did she pay for some? Possibly. I don't know. But what's happened is there is companies out there that I've just recently discovered will solicit you to they'll pay you to either follow people or click like on their posts. And then, obviously, those people are paying them to develop followers and likes. Do you know anybody who's doing that for a living? Not maybe, that's their side hustle. That they've set up fake Instagram accounts and fake whatevers to follow people, celebrities. A lot of people who want to be celebrities are setting up these fake accounts to try to build followers. Like, if I only got 8,000 followers, what if I had 30,000 followers? And then people would think I was important.
Or would you want to be hired? Tumbleweed, you were talking about paying your car taxes today.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be hired to sit at home and follow people and click their little likes if you get paid per click?
Yeah, send it right on into Richland County.
All right, so maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow, the followers on social media. Yeah.
According to a survey that's done here from T. Rowe Price, about 40% of parents believe it's their responsibility to pay for their children's college education. That means 60% of parents don't believe it's their responsibility. But however, if you ask the kids, 70% of kids say that it's their mom and dad's job. That's your job when you had me, was you have to pay for my college as well.
Now, I kind of lucked out with my kids. They ended up going to the University of South Carolina. And I say that because we were talking about tuition costs the other day, and now I'm about to stroke that big check again. But a lot of parents did something I wish I had done. They would make their kids buy into it. Like if they got their $2,500 for their, I think it's the life scholarship that you get from the lottery. Okay, so that's $2,500, and then the other amount I'm going to pay for if you keep up a great average of YADA.
Okay.
So obviously it's got to be higher than a B because you got to keep your lottery money. So then they give them incentives to be able to get more money out of the parent's checking account. Otherwise, they got to pick up the tab.
You know, research would show, though, that the fear of losing
The fear of loss
is not as great
As
them.
the opportunity a gain?
Yeah, so
no,
what-
research doesn't show that. You got it backwards.
No. So what I'm saying is, you're saying, I'm going to cover you. College is covered. Kids don't get as much out of it if mom and dad are paying into it.
That's what I'm saying.
If they tell no, not that you got to keep a grade point average. You got to pay for it.
Oh.
You've got to start getting summer jobs. You've got to pay for your own college. That's why the kids from our generation, about 90% of kids previous to 1990 paid for their own college. Today it's about 40% of the kids pay for their own college.
Sure.
So previous generations had more invested into the scholastic experience. So if I'm writing the check,
Yeah.
I am really here to learn. I'm not here to figure out who's got the coolest keg parties and have the college experience.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, I got to get my GPA up because I got to get a job when I get done with this thing. If I've invested X amount of dollars into it, I need to pay this off quickly, which means I need to have a good job. Where today's kids, they're like, well, mom and dad are paying for it. If I'll maintain a B average, whatever, it's, what is it, 40 grand a year?
Yeah.
I always said
Well-
it's the kid's job to pay for their own college.
Case in point, I was talking to a guy who served in the military, and after he got out of the military, then he was taking advantage of some of the GI money, so he was going back to school. And he said it's amazing when you show up at a class and the professor sends a note that he's not going to be there, class is over. All the youngsters applaud and they jump up and go run out to a kegger. He's hacked because this is his money.
Mm-hmm.
He worked hard for this money that he's getting, even though it was GI. A lot of it was GI Bill. It's still, he's an adult. It's his money. He wants the professor in the class. He's like, how do I get my money back because the guy didn't show up for the day? That's a good point. Okay.
All right, we're looking at a haircut here, Tumbleweed. Can you get a close-up on this man here? This is Jermaine Taylor. For those of you who are not watching us on the Facebook Live or on the Instagram or whatever,
Yeah.
Jermaine Taylor is a convicted drug dealer in England, and he's wanted by police. They can't find him right now, so they've put up one of his earlier conviction photos.
Okay.
And he has, I don't know how to describe that haircut, Tumbleweed. You want to take a shot at that?
Ooh.
It's like those look like the cat whiskers application going awry.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Do you remember Sherman Hemsley, Mr. Jefferson from the Jeffersons?
Yeah.
But put that on a guy who's, in his 20s, and then comb it straight
Straight
up.
up.
So he's got no front hair, and the side hair is straight up. Anyway, the people, they put that up on their Facebook page, and people were having fun with it.
Yeah.
Making jokes about it. And the police department there in England is warning the people
Don't
that
mess with
you're
this guy.
that if you make a comment that's insulting, you can be arrested. You can be arrested for insulting the convicted drug dealer who we're looking for his haircut.
Well, we don't want to hurt his feelings.
Well, they say that social media has now got to be people need to get protected. So, what do you think about that? Should the police start investigating more aggressively comments? Because when you go on some of these news stories,
Yeah.
you certainly see people making all kinds of rude, crude comments. And they're saying you have to conduct yourself as if you are in the public square. So if you were standing at a movie theater in the lobby, you wouldn't be saying these types of things.
Yeah.
But can the police arrest you for that? Or
I know that we've gone out of our way. A lot of the more conscious news services and sites have gone out of the way to make sure that they don't have a lot of inflammatory or insulting type comments up. And I think I actually remember when this started here locally. There was a obit of one of Columbia's more notable businessmen. And the first comment after the story on WLTX was, laugh out loud, horrendously insulting. So I actually I called and I couldn't get in touch with the IT guy, so I emailed him. I said, hey, you may want to take that story down or not make it available for comments. And not long after that, they actually started being a little more supervisory, I would say, over the comments that people were posting. And I think that was to protect the other readers. But this time you need to protect yourself because the cop's going to come arrest you. What happened to my First Amendment rights, Kelly?
I don't know, Jonathan. I guess. Well, I think we're still intact. But the question is, would you like them to start cracking down on people. Because even if you're not going to lose in a court case or whatever, you still don't want to be harassed by the police coming to your door. Like, hey, you made this comment on Facebook. So
Well, in
maybe it
particular-
would curb the way people behave on social media.
On this case, his hair is scary enough, but look at that man's eyes.
You don't want to look in those
What's
eyes.
behind those eyes is pure evil. You really want to? You know what? Making wise ass comments about this dude. We're on the internet, right? I can say wise ass. Tumbleweed just gave me that look, the parental look, the look my dad gives me.
Jonathan, you and I have probably never, I know I haven't, maybe you have been on hushhush.com.
No, I have not.
Hushhush.com portrays itself as the world's leading luxury marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And they've taken out, or they've not exposed, they're promoting one of their clients who is asking for a very unique position. He's looking for a, quote, professional honey trapper. And here's his predicament. He's married to a woman who's only in it for the money, and she's making him miserable. Now, he doesn't want to divorce her because she'll take half of his
Right.
millions. So he's willing to pay you, the professional honey trapper. It's 15,000 euros, I guess, which is 18,000 US dollars. In addition, I will prop you up to make you look very affluent. Give you expense account for this and all sorts of things. Your job is to seduce my wife so I can get out of this marriage without losing it. Now, a couple of thoughts. I mean, who thinks of this crap, right?
Oh, come on, this has been done forever. It's just we didn't
Really?
have social media to help us out.
A professional honey trapper?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, this has been done, but now we got so many more. See, we're becoming victims of our own devices.
Really?
See, but now we got social media and all these other ways to connect with persons. Before, you had to do the hard part, finding somebody who could pull this off and make it believable.
So, but who is, I don't know, how about this one? Who is the worst of the worst in this one? Is it the honey trapper
Okay,
who's seducing a married woman, intentionally ruining a marriage?
good question.
Is it the wife who's clearly not helping her husband with anything? He's just making his life miserable.
Gold digger.
Gold digger. Or is it the husband who married somebody who seems to be much younger than him, specifically because she was hot? Basically treated her like a prostitute. And now
That's a good question.
now that she's behaving like a prostitute, he's not happy with it.
So if you're watching on Facebook or you want to email us, we want you to prioritize.
Who's the worst?
Start with the least and work to the worst. Well, let's see. Now make number one. Who's the worst? Then the second, and then the third.
Slide that in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Give us your list. How do you rank them?
Well, those are some of the stories we're looking at for tomorrow, and if you want to comment on them, you can do it here on Facebook.
Well, we got
or-
people moving into college this week. Maybe we ought to do the college tuition thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we got that on the schedule for 7:15.
Oh, okay, good.
So I said, if you have any comments about any of these stories, leave them here on the Facebook page, or you can tweet at us, or you can do it on the Morning Rush blog. We can leave comments there. There's lots of ways you can do that. And also, if we've missed any stories, some stories you'd like to hear us talk about, go ahead and let us know about them there as well.
Well, if you want to drive by Kelly's house, honk the horn, yell, "You idiot!" and then we're not going to give out his home address because his wife wouldn't like that. Hey, we'll look forward to hearing your thoughts tomorrow on the Morning Rush, 97.5 WCOS.